So what today is going to look like is we're going to get back to our mat. We're going to, you know, kind of set a little bit of a theme, but then we're going to take like one pose, a second pose, and then we're going to add them together and try to feel like the benefit of both poses. Because sometimes when you do them individually, right, you can feel like, oh, like let's take for example, like we're going to be working towards revolve triangle. So if we take some separate twists and really feel what that's like, and then we take some separate hamstring stretches, and then we put it all together, we can make sure that we're kind of encompassing and getting the fullness of the pose. So to start, you're going to come to lie on your back and bring the bottoms of your feet together into that kind of like butterfly shape. Great, thank you. And you guys are all muted. Okay. And then, Kendall, if it's available, I would walk your feet closer in towards your hips after you bend your knees more. Okay. And so for both of you, so Claire always has the intention to get up for this class. Um, and then right, Kendall having this intention to join, and it's like getting back into our body. So I want you to just kind of remind yourself, like, don't compare to like how you've been in the past or anything like that. Just showing up as you are. And then Kendall can kind of appreciate this, and this is like what the theme is for class. So since Monday, all anyone was really talking about here in Miami was this hurricane, like this upcoming storm. And I was getting emails from my building, like, it's mandatory that you take your furniture off your balcony. And I had clients being like, well, let's schedule class, but it's temporary, just in case we have to see the weather. Basically, nothing happened. Okay, there was a little bit of rain and wind, but I spent like all of this time thinking about it. I won't say like really worrying about it, but it was definitely in my mind this week. And now that it's a nice day out today, I kind of think how that was a lot of wasted time. And so I just want you to kind of like reflect in your own life, kind of all the things that we like worry about, but then actually never happen. And how if we could get our time and our energy, we would feel less drained or depleted. And we could use that time and energy then for something more constructive. And so, if in any way that resonates with you, try to call your energy back from those thoughts as we inhale, filling up, let the breath come to you, and then exhale, letting go. Okay. One more like that. Inhale, and then exhale. I'm going to have you take your hands out to the sides now so that the palms are turned up. What we're going to do is we're going to inhale, and then I'm going to ask you to hold the inhale. And when we're holding the inhale, I want you to squeeze your hands and make fit. I want you to squeeze your butt muscles and tighten around the sitting bones. If you feel like wrinkling your face, you could do that. And then when I tell you to exhale, you're going to let it all go. Here we go. Inhale, hold, and now please squeeze your hands, squeeze your butt muscles, tighten everything up. And like this is what I'm doing when I'm anxious and I'm worried. I'm trying to like control the outcome. And then when you're ready, exhale, soften everything. And so you can feel the tension and the stress draining out of the body. And now we deepen into the moment. Again, inhale. Top of your inhale, hold. Squeeze the butt muscles. Press the feet. Hands up. Sometimes we move through our days, sometimes consciously or unconsciously, too much tension. And then sigh it out. Let it go. And get familiar with that feeling of letting your body relax. One more, please. Inhale. Tighten, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze even more, and melt, drain. Bring your inner knee together to touch, and then draw your knees in towards your chest. Full squeeze. Feel how when you draw your knees into your chest, your low back is able to get longer. And then continue to hold left knee in towards your chest, holding it in. And then extend your right leg up towards the ceiling. Drive through the heel. And then Kendall, I'm gonna have you take your right leg straight up towards the ceiling vertically. Good here. And then sometimes that's just a good visual to wake up the foot, spread out the toes, squeeze the kneecap. This is our inhale. And then as you exhale, lengthen and extend right leg forward now. Pressing the right heel down into the mat. So we keep squeezing the left knee in deeply. 2 more. Inhale. Right leg up. Exhale. Draw it in. One more. Leg up as you inhale. And then exhale, lengthen it forward. Simple supine twist. Right hand outside edge of your left knee. Take the left knee across your body. Feel your head stack over your heart, stack over your hip. Stack in line with that right heel. And then start to ring out your week, guys. Right? I like this Friday morning class. Clear out. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, so like feel the twist as your upper back spreads. So for me, a lot of times that means moving my right rib cage more to the right, rolling the left rib cage open, letting the left shoulder get heavier. For our final breath, I want you to feel this as much of a back bend as possible, meaning lift your chest, arch through your low back, and then come back to center and draw your left knee in towards your chest again. Okay, then your right knee, left hand grabs the top of your right ankle and you pull your right heel up towards your left sitting bone. Once the foot gets stuck on the mat, use both hands to draw left knee deeper in towards your chest. Now, for most of us, the tension from sitting all week in the front of that right leg and right hip is going to pull your low back into a deep arch. See if you can press your low back down more, softening it. Your right knee might lift a little as you do that. But then once you have that longer, more neutral spine, reach forward again through your inner right knee. Inhale. Exhale. Think to widen the knees away from each other and now really like lock this in. The feeling of the stretch through the front of the right leg as your right point lifts. and the front of the hip stretches. Right knee draws in towards your chest, full squeeze. And that should neutralize out your low back again. Take a deep breath, inhale, exhale. Now lengthen and extend, left leg up towards the ceiling. Keep that right knee drawn in, dynamic movement, inhale, exhale, swing the leg forward, you draw it. 2 more, connect with breath, inhale, exhale. I do want you to press the left heel down a little at the bottom so you feel that left hamstring fire up. 1 more, inhale to lift, stretching through the back of the left knee, and then exhale, lower. Simple supine twist. Left hand guides right knee across the body. It does not have to touch the floor. And then create your alignment down the middle of your mat. And then around that long spine, you twist your ribs. Go for the clearing out in your core. And then as we get closer to finishing this one up, make sure you lift up through your mid to upper back. Feel it as a little bit of a back bend. Inhale. Exhale. Come back to center. Right knee draws in towards your chest. Bend your left knee, step it into the mat. So close the knee joint so it's safe. And then right hand, grab the top of the left foot, pull it up towards your right sitting bone, and lower your left knee down. Up in the low back. You even think to push it down towards the mat. And then scan your body, you guys, for those places consciously or unconsciously that we're holding the tension, and remember that feeling of letting it drain out, of letting it soften. We don't have to hold on to that. 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Both knees come back up in towards your chest. Okay. And then this is where we put it together. Right hand is on your left knee. Left hand grabs the top of that right ankle. Lower your right knee forward and down. So right leg is in the quadricep stretch. And then use your right hand to pull that left knee across the body to come into the supine twist. Supine means recline in your upper body. So you might move your right shoulder, your right ribs more to the right. We feel the upper back bend. Lengthen the tailbone. Remember, pushing the low back into the mat. And then you could move your right knee more and more to the left. You could squeeze your right heel in towards your right sitting bone and add the quadricep stretch. Inhale. Exhale, ring it out. Come back to center, both knees in towards your chest. Reset. Inhale. Exhale, left hand, right knee, hold it in. Right hand, top of left foot. Close the knee joint. Swing left knee forward and down. And then pull the right knee across the body. Come into the twist. Okay, so this is a kind of hit all those spots at once. But remember the feeling of the supine twist in the upper back. And then what do you need to do in the low back and hip to open up the front of your left hip as much as possible? Pull the left heel in towards the left sitting bone to stretch the quadricep. Inhale. Exhale. Unwind the bind. Come back to center, knees to your chest. Inhale. Exhale. Rock to center, plant hands, tabletop position. From your tabletop, hands walk forward towards the top of your mat. Lower your forehead puppy dog pose. Feel here, toes tucked. So we connect from the feet to the ankles to the knees to the hips. Feel the rotation in your sitting bones as they lift. Now, those big, thick vertebra of your lumbar spine, they dip, your rib cage drop, your armpits open, your arms stretch up overhead, and your spine is long. Inhale. Exhale. Feel the upper body from the hip to the hands. Knees walk in, tabletop position. Right foot steps forward, use block if you need it. And then lengthen and extend right leg. Ardha Hanuman. Remember the feeling of both hips being even on your mat. Feel that your left and right sitting bone are in line with each other. Stretch the chest forward. And then remember the sensation of drawing up through the right heel, up through the back of the right knee. It's so hard to stretch our hamstrings because it's actually not just one muscle. It's a bundle of 3 muscles attaching all the way to your sitting bone. And then release. Tabletop position. Left foot steps forward. Left leg extends. Ardha Hanuman. Good. So we kind of did this leg, extending it up towards the ceiling. Now you're going a little deeper. Adding on. And see if you can catch yourself when your mind starts going maybe into the future. I'm a big catastrophizer, right? Like thinking about like the storm or whatever it is in life, the worst thing that could happen, and then it never happens. So try not to waste your energy of being anywhere but just right here, right now. Travel your awareness, left heel, left knee, left sitting bone. Inhale. Exhale, fold that left leg in, remove your block, plant your hands. And then you hamstrings stretch together in your downward facing dog. May that feel any different? So like when my legs were extending up towards the ceiling, my toes were spread. My feet were really active as I was driving through the heel. And then remember what it was like to let your rib cage drop, your arms to stretch overhead, and to feel that length of the spine in puppy dog. Knees to the mat, tabletop. Little bit of flow here. Inner knees come together to touch. We'll start with left leg, extending it out to the side. Yep. Or to the left foot in line with the knee. Now, inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Start with your hip. Lift your sitting bones up. Ripple through your low back. Lift the chin. Cow pose. Start with your chin. Round in, upper back, mid back, low back. Tuck in, cat. One more. Start with your tailbone. Turn the tailbone up. Drop the belly. Drop the rib cage. Lift the chest. Lift the chin. And then roll back through cat pose. But from here, look back at that right foot. Swing your right foot in until you can come all the way down to seated, stretching that left leg out to the side. Yep, so it just left leg was out, it's extended. Interlace the hands behind the back of your head. Inhale. Exhale, focus left towards the knee and come back up to center. Inhale here and change sides without letting that left sitting bone lift. Inhale back up to center. Exhale, turn, twist to the opposite side. Inhale, center. Exhale, smooth movement. Make sure you do 3. It's okay if you're kind of going at your own pace, but stay in the moment. Don't get ahead of ourselves. Don't start thinking about the future. Come back up to center. Left hand, right knee, right fingertips back behind you as you twist. Just one breath. Inhale. Exhale. Come back through center. And then right down the midline here. In between your upper thigh, fold in. If I was there, I would actually put my foot on your upper left thigh and press it down and roll the flesh of your upper left leg back so that your outer left hip drops a little bit heavier. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen half flat back. Roll over your shins. Tabletop position. From tabletop, downward facing dog, neutralize. Add the legs, you just to the left, stretch out side body. Inhale. Exhale, knees to the mat. I prefer to let my knees come together, finding the midline. Right leg extends out to the side. Do you guys feel the difference in these cat cows? So go to cow pose. And then roll into it, chin to chest, into the upper back, then into the mid back, then into the low back, tucking the tailbone under. And then start with your hips and reverse it. Turn your tailbone up, belly, chest, chin, inhale, exhale round. So kind of segment a little bit more so you can control each piece as you add it together, starting with the hips. I've been liking doing that recently. And then you will finish, last one, into cat pose. Look back at that left foot. Swing it in as you sit down and back into our wide-legged, Janu Shirshasana. Interlace the hands behind the back of your head. Inhale. So right elbow, right knee. Back up, use 4. Come through center. Loosen up the side body. Inhale. Exhale. In, chin away from chest. Exhale, feel pull through the quadratus lumborum. You have one more. Back and forth. Lift up through center. Right hand outside edge of left knee. Take that simple twist. Yeah, once you've done 3, good. Hand on knee now. Don't let that right sitting bone lift up. Bring it out. And then as you come through center, fold right down the midline. Imagine someone stepping, right, but kindly to help you. It's not to hurt you. It's not stamping down, but it's helping you to ground into right leg, right sitting bone. It rolls back, and from that energy, we try to lengthen more forward. Now, remember the beginning of class, the tension, the holding, the feeling. Where do you need to let tension drain? Inhale. Exhale. Shift back through center. Tabletop position. From tabletop, downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, right foot step forward, lunge. You kind of did that at the beginning of class on your back, stretching that straight leg forward. Left foot steps forward. We're gonna take a sun salutation here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hold. Keep the pieces together like the long spine. Circle your arms around and up. Lift all the way to rise. And then exhale, you're gonna deep dive, fold in. Uttanasana. Inhale, look forward, half flat back. Step your left leg back into the lunge. Step your right foot back, plank. From plank pose, left knee down onto the mat. Right heel spins to flat. Okay, so we kind of already did that right leg and you're reaching it out laterally. Extend right arm, reach it up towards the ceiling, and then lengthen right arm over your right ear. Okay. Continuing the side body opening. Now pay attention to the rotation in your hip. Notice if you're overarching into your low back, drag the tailbone long, reach through the rib cage, reach through the fingertips, inhale to lengthen. Exhale, meet me back, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, one, get present right here in the moment. Keep adding the puzzle pieces together, sitting bones up for two. Inhale. Exhale for three. Left foot step forward for the lunge. Pause. Feel the line from the heel to the crown of the head. Right foot step forward. We take the vinyasa, the sun salutation. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, keep that loose. Fold in, releasing across your low back. Stretch your arms out wide as you inhale. Lift all the way to rise. Arms up. Exhale, pull through the air. Fold and drop head. Inhale, lengthen. Half flat back. Right foot step back. Feel it open. Front body long in the lunge. Plant the hands. Downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward into plank pose. Right knee down onto the mat. Spin your left heel to flat. And then left arm extends up towards the ceiling. Good. So I push down into that right knee, lengthen through the tailbone, and then extend left arm forward. Good. So we still want to feel power in that back leg. Does it help you guys to squeeze the glutes a little, lifting more open through the front of the hip? And then for your final bit, look in the direction of your fingertips as you grow. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Right here, right now, in this moment, mind doesn't wander. Come back to your breath, breathe in. Breathe out, and you try to scan the body for the pockets of tension and teach yourself, remind yourself what it's like to relax them, to let it soften. Step forward, top of your mat. Hands to shins. Inhale, lengthen open. Exhale, fold in. From here, bend knees, drop hip, sit low, chair pose. Okay, now in that chair pose, I want you to feel the strength of your leg. As your knees start to bend 90 degrees, try to sit a little bit lower. Fold in. Inhale, lengthen, half flat. Step your left leg back, lunge. Spin your back left heel to flat. You've done this leg a lot. Right elbow up onto right knee. Toes through your hips to make sure you feel your core. And now as you open, extend left arm over your left ear. Okay, so that should be a lot of actions that you've already done. Front leg is strong as you drive through the heel, hugging the muscles to the bone. We've used that back leg, you've stretched the side body, and we just did this pose with our knee on the floor as you lengthen. Top of your push-up, plank, pose. Inhale, plank. Bend elbows, lower to the belly button, drop the hips. Inhale, curl up, cobra. As you exhale to stretch back, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Is it tension in the neck? How would you soften it? Plugging the shoulder blades down the back again. Inhale. Exhale. Second side, step forward, top of your mat. Hands to shins. Inhale, open. Exhale, fold. Sit down and back in low. Chair pose. So remember what it's like to try to engage the hamstrings, engage the glutes a little, feel the legs wrap around, hug the femur bone, and then exhale, fold in. Uttanasana, full stretch here, double hamstring stretch. Inhale to lengthen, half flat back. Step your right leg deeply back into the lunge. Spin, right heel to flat, and pause. See how much you can keep adding things together. Feel that back leg. Come up onto fingertips. Try to do cat pose as much as you can. Tucking the tailbone under. Left elbow up onto left knee, and then roll open through right ribs, right shoulder, into side angle pose. Right, but hopefully it feels very integrated. Whole body working together to allow you to open, be in the moment, capture your breath. Inhale. Exhale fully. Meet me at the top of your push-up, plank pose. Inhale for plank. Exhale, bend elbows, squeeze between shoulder blades as you lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, stretch back. Downward facing dog. Okay. Little bit of flow here. Big toes come together to touch. Inhale, lift right leg up and back. Remember how active the leg is. Bend the right knee, roll the right hip open. Step, right foot forward, lunge. Spin your back left heel to flat. Lift to rise, warrior two. Level out the hip by lifting up through the front right hip. Level out your shoulders. Good adjustment, Kendall. Yep, exactly. And then straighten your front right leg. If you need to move the back left foot in a little, hinge forward, triangle pose. 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. Inhale. Exhale for 3. How is the power in the back leg? And then stretch. Left arm over your left ear. Reach towards the water, Kendall. Push your hips towards your front door. Make all that space through your side body. Left hand to the mat. 3-legged down dog. Right leg sweeps up and back. Bend right knee. Roll right hip open. Try to use the glute to get more stretch to the front of your right hip. And now, right knee, left elbow, pull it across. Don't forget the back leg. Inhale, lift, right leg up and back. And now we come into fallen triangle. Right knee, left elbow. Pick that right foot up as high as you can. Spin the back leg. We know that it's lifting, and then reach and extend. Left arm over left ear. How high can you lift the hips as you roll open into it? Inhale. Exhale. Left hand to the mat. One more time. Right leg lift. 3-legged down dog. Step your right foot forward. Lunge. From that right foot stepping forward, parallel your feet to the left. Okay, now, before you move on, I want you to think of both of those legs when they stretch out laterally. And it's like you're adding them together. We're connecting through the inner edges of the feet. And then your choice, either hands forward or holding onto your ankles to fold in here. Get more of an inversion. If you want to take a headstand, you could take a headstand. 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. Drain out the week, drain out your concerns. It's not in the moment. Everything is perfectly all right as it is right here. You have everything you need. Inhale. Exhale. Hands between your shoulders. Pivot, turn, top of your mat, low lunge, step back, downward facing dog. Now find your vinyasa. Inhale, forward plank. Bend elbows, chaturanga. If you want the full up dog, take it here. You can always do cobra, soft through the elbows. Downward facing dog. 1. Inhale, where's the weight in your hands, in your fingertips? 2. Inhale. Exhale for 3. Left leg lift, 3-legged down dog. Bend left knee, roll left hip open. Step, left foot forward, lunge. Then back heel to flat. I make sure I feel that back leg evenly first, integrated posture, and then lift all the way up, warrior 2. So both of you did an excellent job of arranging your pelvis first. Don't get in a rush. Don't get in a hurry. Be here. And start to trust in the strength of your legs as you straighten your front left leg. I need to heel toe that back right foot in a little so I feel the power as you hinge. Triangle pose. 1. Inhale. So these are inner legs, hamstrings, prepping to stretch for 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Extend, reach, right arm over your right ear. So for all of us, the orientation on our mat, it means pushing that right hip towards the front door. And it means reaching those fingertips in the opposite direction. Hand to the mat, low lunge as you lift the back heel and your left leg floats. 3-legged down dog. Move through it mindfully. It usually slowly is mindfully. Wait for it as your hip opens. And then left knee, right twist. Take it up and back. Inhale, open. Prepare for a fallen triangle. So first you take that core twist, then you extend the leg and you reach right arm up and over. So that's a lot of our puzzle pieces. We've got our back leg strong. Our front inner left leg is stretching. Right arm over your right ear to lengthen. And then right hand down to the mat. Left leg, pull it through, up and back. 3-legged down dog. Final time, step your left foot forward lunge. Turn your feet to the right, parallel. Pause. Wait until you feel both legs, both upper thighs, evenly widening away from the midline. Try not to put all the weight in the pinky end sides of the feet. Keep pressing straight down. And then your choice, either folding in or walking your hands forward, which can be a nice option, right? It can be like kind of adding puppy dog pose into your wide-legged forward fold. Go back to the beginning of class. What was it like when you just let go? So that's kind of the nice thing here. Your legs could almost support you. And you could just soften in, dangling the spine, pushing the hips back. Inhale. Exhale. Hands come underneath the shoulders, lengthen half flat back. Turn forward, low lunge. To press back, downward facing dog. Same activity in the legs from the very beginning of class, and you add that into plank pose. Inhale, plank. Bend elbows, chaturanga. Inhale, flip feet, up dog, soft elbows. Try not to lock them. Roll over toes. Downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Right foot step forward up in between your hands, lunge. Lower your back, left knee down. Left elbow outside edge of right knee, twist. Okay, so we're almost there. We're almost to our peak pose. Sometimes I can even see my right hip, you guys, out of the corner of my eye. And I try to squeeze it in more to the midline. And then try to get that feeling of wrapping your left lung down. Stacking your right lung on top. Step back. Downward facing dog. Neutralize. Feel the puppy dog and the hamstring stretch simultaneously. Good, Kendall. Yes, it's opening since the beginning of class. Left foot steps forward. Back knee down. Twist. Right elbow. Outside edge of left knee. All right, if you kind of like look around that corner, you can see your left hip. Draw it back, press it in. And then remember the twist from the beginning of class. Right? You were trying to get that left shoulder to drop towards the floor. Like the left shoulder wraps back behind you. How's the breath? It's hard to breathe in a twist. It's going to feel good when you release it. Downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Shake out head. Okay. Check in with how much of your own life you waste skipping ahead, catastrophizing, worrying about things. I really look back on my life, all the things I worry about, they truly haven't been. Step right foot forward up in between your hand blocks. Now I'm going to use double block. I tore my hamstring, you guys. Step your right, straighten that front right leg and step your back left foot in until you ground that back heel. Okay. So first thing, I just want you to feel leveling off your pelvis. Sometimes I even look underneath my body, you guys, and I look. Do they look level? Sometimes we need that visual check. And then can you do your long spine? Yeah. Can you find cow pose through your hips? Remember the first hamstring stretch we did? Leg was active. And then fold here. Drop the tension. So revolve, triangle. We did it on Tuesday as well, but I'm kind of loving this pose lately. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Now remember that feeling that we just did of the twist. I'm going to lower that right block to flat. Take my left hand. I'm going to look at my right hip and I'm going to pull it back and squeeze it in as you twist. Revolved triangle pose. Is the back leg working? Is the front leg working? What's the relationship of the legs connected through the pelvis to feed the spine, to open the heart? And then release and step your back foot forward. As you soften your knees, grab opposite arm, opposite elbow, shake the head, the leg. Even in the belly, a lot of times I'm clenching. Remember to soften there. Inhale. Exhale, let it go, you guys. Let it drop out. Use your blocks if you want them. And step right foot back. Set up for pyramid pose. Yeah. Use the back leg. Maybe look underneath the body. And then fold in. Inhale, lengthen half flat back. Spin left block. to flat, so it's a little more stable. Right hand comes across. Look down your left side body. Make sure your left side body is long. Left hip firms in. You should feel your upper thighs more. And then remember the feeling of the twist at the top. One. Inhale. Exhale for two. Use back leg. Feed it through the hips to feed the spine for two. Inhale. Exhale. Release. Plant the hands. Downward facing dog. And then last vinyasa of clap. Inhale. Stack the heels. Feel the leg. Long spine. Plank pose. Inhale. Exhale. So you bend your elbows to move your shoulders. Keep driving through your hands. Roll the shoulders back as you lift the heart. Downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Knees to the mat. Left leg out to the side laterally. Right foot spins in, come to seated. You've been here before. But then this time, right hand sweeps back behind you. Hip lift up. Spin that left heel to flat. Take a back bend. Good. And then sit back down. Square off your hips, planting your right foot higher up into your left thigh. And then fold out over left leg. Quietly here as you turn into the posture. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Exhale, release. Tabletop position, just to set us up for the second side. So I extend my right leg out. Left toe spin in. Come all the way down to seated first. So that we lift up away from the floor. Swing that hand back behind you. Open up into your back bend. Good. So kind of like the fallen triangle a little, but we can lift our hips higher. Make it about the upper back bend. There you go, Kendall. Good. Can you touch the wall? Claire, push into the wall. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go. That should help. And then release. I used to think of my furniture being in the way. Now I think of my teacher as not helping me. Okay. And then square off your hip. Push that left foot into your right thigh and take Janu Shirsasana. So fold over your front leg. Get it out here while you can. Inhale. Exhale. Okay. Inhale to lengthen, half flat back. Good. And then you're going to release. I know, Claire, you've had to spin around on your mat a lot. You're going to be facing forward. Step your feet into the mat. Yep, Kendall, you'll be facing the water. Turn your fingertips forward. Okay. Roll the shoulder blades down your back. Lift your chest. Reverse your tabletop. If you can lift your ribs a little higher. Hips all the way down towards the mat. Lower down. Does the spine feel any longer? And then now that the fronts of your shoulders are open, lift your hips, bridge pose. You could put tension into the face. And then feel it roll off. Have tension in the glutes. Inhale. Exhale. Release your hands. Roll all the way down. Okay, so there's a couple options here. Claire, you have the wall. If you want to swing your leg up the wall, you can swing your knees over the bed, depending on the height. And then Kendall, you and I, we're going to take our two blocks since we have them. We're going to stack them on top of one another underneath the hips like a supported bridge pose. And then we're going to take our legs straight. Claire did it a little bit with me on Tuesday, but I really love the Sa Ta Na Ma meditation when I'm spending too much time in the future, right? The past is usually we have regret, future is usually anxiety. And this helps me to come into the moment. So when you tap your thumb to your index finger, we think in our mind, Sa. When you tap your thumb, your middle finger, Ta, thumb to ring finger, Na, thumb to pinky finger, Ma. And here we go. Sa, ta, na, ma. 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 Few times on your own. When you finish the next round, see if that's just a helpful tool to keep you from wasting time in the future, allowing you to be present. And then, Claire, you can decide to stay there or come into Shavasana. Kendall will release the legs, release the block. I would suggest even stacking the blocks, even though I know they're light foam blocks. Kendall, sometimes it's just nice to have them on the belly as you extend the arms. And take breath. So in all seriousness, you guys, I feel like I would be, almost like 18 years old if I could take all the moments that I have spent in the future and like get them collectively back. Like it's been a lot of wasted time. There's hopefully with the yoga practice and starting your day being more present, you can not waste your time and feel that you're really living in the moment as you start to wiggle your fingers and toes and stretch your arms overhead to bend your knees and roll to the right. To sit up and find seated. Hold the hands in front of your heart center. And thank yourself for either getting up, holding yourself accountable to come to class today, or getting back on your mat, right? And then you take your thumbs to your third eye to bow forward and seal your practice. Try. Siddhartha. Try.